Thanks for being here this Thursday. A lot to cover this evening. A lot, of course, to see in today's edition of Sagersville Independent. If you haven't already, front page was a really good shot this morning, and of course still is, as it's available in newsstands, of the 3,000-point mark seen by a Magoffin County High School basketball senior, and that's just the beginning of the newspaper, so I hope you certainly pick one up if you haven't already. A lot of great things to see and read. The Throwback Thursday page, another winners, all I'm saying. It's always worth the price of admission and then some, so to speak, but a lot of valuable news and information and entertainment in there as well. With that said, we'll get to headlines shortly in just a few seconds, and among those tonight, we will talk about the increasing interest, I'll say, in your forecast. Wind advisory already in effect, wind warning in effect for some in Kentucky, and everyone's still trying to get some sort of a handle on what, if any, type of accumulating snowfall we might see. A very active winter weather pattern, and it's all coming from a system that is going to affect a large portion of the United States, some possibly very dramatically, and there's a lot of similar circumstances to this storm and some of the areas that a recent storm just hit days ago. So we'll be talking about that in more detail in just a few seconds. I'll begin headlines right after this break with a structure fire that completely destroyed a home in Magoffin County late last night. Stay tuned.
Join us for the grand opening of the Johnson County Community Health Center on Thursday, January 25th, with an open house from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Enjoy free refreshments and register to win a prize by taking a tour of our new facility, including a big screen smart TV, Fitbit, and gift card. We are proud to offer family medicine, behavioral health, and an in-house laboratory. Patient appointments are available beginning January 29th. Call now. Big Sandy Healthcare. Quality care close to home.
Auctioneer Brent Tackett is announcing an auction this Saturday on 114 at the end of the Hensley Strait at the former residence of Hazel and Orville Adams, with items they collected over their lifetime, including over 30 handmade quilts, woodworking tools, a lot of other hand and other tools, very clean and very nice furniture, many collectibles as well, and as you can see by just a few of the pictures, the list indeed goes on. That's an auction this Saturday at the Adams' residence at the end of the Hensley Strait on the right side of 114 if you're going towards Floyd County. The address is 10690 Kentucky Route 114. The auction will start promptly this Saturday morning at 10:21 a.m.
Platinum Award-winning singer-songwriter Chris Jansen is coming to the MAC, and he'll be playing hits such as Buy Me a Boat.
But it can buy me a boat. It can buy me a truck to pull.
Fix a Drink.
But I can fix a drink.
And one of his most recent hits, Good Vibes.
I'm getting them good vibes. I'm living this good life.
Get your tickets now. Call 1-888-MAC-ARTS, stop by the People's Bank box office, or visit macarts.com.
I got me a full cup.
You've seen the forecast, right? You know what season it is, so it is time to get ready. With New Year deals that are worth up to $200 off a new set of tires, and get your car running like new with only a $35 state-of-the-art computer diagnosis, and save all the payments for later with 6 months same as cash at Conley Tire and ConleyTire.net. According to Middle Fork Fire Department Chief Zach Allen, he and several members of his department responded in only minutes to a structure fire off of Lena Patrick Road. That's in the Middle Fork area, just past the Dollar General on the opposite side of Route 30, if you will, a short distance from the junction of Lena Patrick Road and Route 30. The former Hack Patrick home, now lived in and occupied by a relative, was completely destroyed by flames in a fire last night and was found pretty much in this condition by the fire department. Alan telling me earlier today that after some initial fears that the resident may be inside the home, the residence was soon cleared thereafter. No one was at home at the time of the blaze, but this is pretty much how the fire department encountered the structure. The call of the incident coming in at around 11:44 last night, firefighters arriving beginning 6 minutes later, spending a few hours on the ground. The entire roof had already fallen in. Just the brick walls were the only thing still standing of the structure. A pet was found outside the home, uninjured. There were items outside the residence, including a tractor and a vehicle, which were so close to the fire that they did receive heat damage. The cause of the fire is still unknown at this time, but again, no injuries were sustained. The resident identified in run sheets as Mr. Jeremy Reed. In other news this evening, funeral arrangements are still pending at this hour, and we suspect there will be more, of course, made to mention on the sudden passing of former Magoffin County Sheriff Carson Montgomery earlier this morning. I confirmed with the Magoffin County Coroner's Office earlier today through Deputy Coroner Brian Baldwin that Carson Montgomery passed away earlier today after a sudden medical condition, possibly a heart attack, at his residence at the age of 68. Carson Montgomery serving as Magoffin County's sheriff for three full terms for a period of 12 years, up until, of course, losing re-election efforts here just in the past year and a half or so. Funeral arrangements are still pending for Mr. Montgomery. I'll have what is available for him at this hour in just a few moments. But again, former sheriff of Magoffin County passing away earlier today at his residence of what appears to be natural causes. A lot still happening on tonight's Magoffin Farm Bureau calendar. That's where we're going now, and that's what begins with another birthday wish tonight. Love to have them. Send them in. We like those birthdays and anniversaries, and we love to print them as well, as I tell you almost each and every night in the Sagersville Independent. So send those to Heather if you would like them there. For now, happy birthday that's happy 35th birthday. Join me, everyone. To Carrie Keaton, happy 35th birthday, Carrie. Love Mom, love Wayne, love the family. Happy, happy, happy. The happiest of birthdays to you. Happy 35th, Carrie Keaton. Just a couple of quick reminders as we go through the rest of the calendar, shortening them down just a bit as we go on. Don't forget, the Water Into Wine Food Pantry has their regular Commodity Day next Wednesday, 9 to 11. Their Senior Commodity Day is next Thursday, 9 to 11. It's the first of the year. That means all the clients need to update their information. You can do so by coming into the office or giving them a call. Excuse me. I'm still dealing with this cough, and I don't know when it's going to quit. And real quickly, from our Extension Service and our 4-H agent and organization, the Magoffin County 4-H After School Club is for students ages 9 to 18. They meet Thursdays 3:30 to 5. Call to register 349-3216. Next meeting will be next week. The Magoffin County 4-H Clover Buds Club for kids in grades K to 3 is also wanting to have your kids join them for a whole lot of fun activities and some early learning. And they can register. You can register them by calling 349-3216. And the Magoffin County 4-H Teen Club. Join them, teens, for food, fun, activities, friendship, a lot more. 4-H is a great way to spend some time. Their next meeting, January the 16th, in just a few days, 349-3216. Same number applies to register your kids, or for your kids, or you, if you are one of the students, to register for either of those. Going on to funeral service announcements, arrangements have been made for 87-year-old Wendell Arnott of Sagersville. He passed away Tuesday of this week. Apologies again. At the Abbyshire Nursing Center in Bidwell, Ohio. He's survived by his wife Lillian, sons Ellery Arnott, Timothy Purnell, and Ralph Anthony Arnott, as well as his daughters Lillian Michelle Christopher, Rachel M. Fraley, his sister Linda Nell Arnott, 20 grandkids, and 18 great-grandchildren. Services for Wendell Arnott will be held this Saturday at 1 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home Chapel. Friends can visit the funeral home for visitation tomorrow evening from 6 until 9. And 53-year-old Herbert Jerome, Jerry Saylor of Sagersville, passed away yesterday at the UK Medical Center. The son of the late Gerald Lloyd Saylor and Deborah Mullins Howard, who survives. He's as well survived by his sons, Brandon Jerome Saylor and Jerry David J.D. Saylor, his brother Derek, and sister Shana Patrick, as well as 2 nieces and a nephew. Services in Jerry's honor will start this Sunday at 1 o'clock from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Friends can visit the funeral home Saturday from 6 to 9 for visitation. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, arrangements still incomplete at this hour for 68-year-old Carson Montgomery, former Magoffin County Sheriff Carson Montgomery, who passed away earlier today at his home. And in Johnson County, Darrell Lee Baldwin, 63 of Paintsville, passed away Friday the 5th at Paintsville ARH, survived by his 2 daughters, 3 brothers, 5 grandkids, and a host of nieces, nephews, and friends. A time of reflection will be held from 4 to 8 Wednesday of next week at the Jones and Preston Funeral Home. Sagersville National Bank hopes to help you start the new year with financial freedom and peace of mind. From new services like Apple and Google Pay with your debit card to their more than century of being dedicated to being your personal or business banking institution, they're here for you with digital, phone, or in-person banking at both locations.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small town values.
And mom and dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars.
I believe in always finding a way to do what you love.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
Someone dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or a relative. And about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy,
where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Appalachian Wireless is not slowing down in the new year. In fact, this deal went so well, it's still going on. An iPhone 13 128 gig for a penny with a 2-year contract on the mix and match or unlimited plan, new or renewed line. This is literally while supplies last. 1 penny for an iPhone 13 128 gig. Terms and conditions do apply. See Appalachian Wireless for complete details. A new year, a new you, and a new device. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Little information to pass along right now before we go on with any other news and headlines, and it comes from the Lighthouse Homeless Shelter Organization. We've been, of course, talking with Rick Whitley at his convenience in an effort by he and many others now who have joined in concert in trying to establish some sort of a permanent homeless shelter or assistance here in Magoffin County. And of course that, as we have discussed, like everything else in this world, takes funding, and that's what they're still focusing on doing. And the organization has asked me to pass along this little short punch list of details about how they're hoping to spark some interest in doing just that. They are currently looking for some office space in the city limits of Sagersville. That's going to be their jumping off point as far as any sort of a permanent fixture. And they're still trying to raise money and commitments from anyone. I mean, you're talking about individuals, churches, groups, organizations, others who understand the need and recognize it in hopes of trying to help them reach their goal. They're looking for pledges in small amounts, or large, of course, if you so choose and are able to do so, but for a period of, say, 6 to 12 months. Say, for example, 20 commitments of $25 for 6 to 12 months, 20 commitments of $50, 20 people that can give them $50 for 6 to 12 months, and so on and so forth. Just trying to get some sort of an establishment in there of some sort of a steady amount of funding that they can try to use to put forward towards this effort. They're also maybe shooting for a little higher goal of getting 5 VIP donors wishing to pledge $20 a month for 12 months. And all helps. It doesn't have to be any of these amounts. More or less would be wonderful. You can leave a check at the Citizens Bank on the Mountain Parkway, or mail it to Citizens Bank, payable to Lighthouse Shelter, where their account is set up at 680 Tom Fraser Way. Also, we have Matty Rao, we have and Mr. Whitley, and a number of other individuals who are all a part of this that will get you some direct contact information for here, and so you can have it on a routine basis, but reach out to either of those, or again, simply drop off a check payable to the Lighthouse Shelter at Citizens Bank. A few things from today's Team Kentucky update provided by the governor that I wanted to pass along to you tonight. On first, the education enrollment topic, or the topic of education enrollment, higher education that is. The governor announced today that Kentucky had the highest fall-to-fall total higher education enrollment gains in the entire nation. Kentucky also ranked second in undergraduate enrollment and fourth in graduate enrollment. between fall of 2022 and the fall of 2023. The Commonwealth experienced a 5.6% overall enrollment growth, including a 5.5% growth in undergraduate enrollment, as well as 4.9% of an increase in graduate enrollment. The governor's saying we're not just number one in the country in college enrollment, but we are number two in college completions. He says our goal to have 60% of our citizens with a post-secondary credential is the only way we're going to have the workforce to get us where we need to go. On a personal note, I wish I had it handy, but in the mail today was Andrew's Dean's List certificate from the Pigman College of Engineering and the University of Kentucky. I should have probably shared that right now in a little more fashion than I just did. Proud of my son this evening. With that said, I think from there we're going to talk about the weather, as we certainly need to do. And here's the latest, as we're all just kind of waiting in anticipation for data, models, and the like to come into clearer focus as to the potential for some accumulating snowfall that will possibly, and still leaving myself some wiggle room there, well, possibly happen, but if it does, certainly accompany some frigid air. Nighttime lows in the single digits for 2, maybe 3 nights in a row. Let me say this, at this hour, while we are seeing days where we're seeing consecutive days with chances of snowfall and snow likely to fall, and a couple of those days, not much accumulating snow as of right now. That could change. The cold air will certainly be in place, and we're going to have a lot of moisture between now and then, the timing of which, of course, will result in what we do see. Regardless, it's the winds that we are going to again be worried about. A wind advisory in effect for the entire viewing area. And much more of eastern Kentucky from 7 in the morning to 7 o'clock Saturday morning. After 23 degrees tonight, mostly clear and calm. Look at that. Mostly clear skies and calm winds tonight. How many days has it been since I said that? And 23, albeit chilly degrees. We'll have a nice day temperature-wise tomorrow into the mid-50s, and the winds will start to be noticed again out of the southeast, anywhere from 10 to 40 miles per hour throughout your Friday, and as Friday goes on. By midday, later on in the afternoon, we'll see some shower chances. We will see some rain tomorrow. We will have a very minute chance of some thunderstorm activity associated with that, and there is a chance that that moisture will still be in town after we drop back down ultimately to a low of 27 tomorrow night, and we see it change over to some snow for the end of your Friday. Saturday, only a 20% chance of some snow showers up through 3, 4 in the afternoon. Otherwise, partly cloudy and colder, as you see there, at 36, but still breezy. Winds, instead of closer to 40, closer to 30. So keep that in mind. I mean, Friday night, you're talking about a low of 27, and winds still moving up to 30, 40 miles per hour at times. That'll put wind chills down in the teens, maybe a little bit lower at times, so not going to be a good night to be out. Anyway, Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, 22. Winds still up to 20 miles, 23 miles per hour or so at times. We finally calmed down for at least a bit on your Sunday, mostly sunny, and 29 degrees. By late Sunday night, during the overnight, there's a little more moisture coming back in, and with a low of 19, we see a 30% chance of snow 2 o'clock or so Sunday night, Monday morning. We will start off the work week in the 20s and stay there for at least the first half or a little longer of next week. Right now, and just updated nighttime lows have us in the single digits, only on one night instead of a couple. Glad to report that change. Monday, 27-19, your high and your low. Cloudy skies, snow likely, not looking for anything to add up as far as the white stuff is concerned. Tuesday, 22, will bottom out in the single digits around 7 or so Tuesday night. Still snow likely throughout the day on your Tuesday. We'll see about how many flakes we can count a little later on. First of next week, I guess I should say tomorrow, but maybe first of next week. Certainly we'll be in the thick of things if there is any to be in the middle of. Wednesday, 28 and 22, snow's gone. A little sunshine's going to make a return, and then Thursday we're back to the upper 30s. It will feel oh so warm, partly sunny, with another little return chance of some snow. That will be one last thing, advice that I myself am going to have to follow. That will be the coldest, consistent, or the longest run of some coldest weather that we've had thus far. You got anything out there that you haven't winterized, you haven't got ready for the really cold temperatures of winter? I would take tomorrow to do so, certainly, as we're going to be in the 50s, and then, nail down anything you don't want to blow off as well. I'll see you back here tomorrow night, everyone. Thank you for watching.